Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane Exit channel, and we continue our voyage into the Giro d'Italia 2025 route. Stage 15 presents a monumental 214-kilometer mountain stage from Fiumi Veneto to the high plateau finish in Asiago, with the legendary Monte Grappa as an undeniable centerpiece. The elevation profile confirms a grueling day with approximately 4,000 meters of climbing, promising significant action among the general classification contenders. The partenza takes place in Fiumi Veneto, a town in the Friuli Venezia Giulia region. The initial kilometers are indeed flat, as indicated by the low elevation, allowing the peloton to establish itself before the climbing begins. Around the 45-kilometer mark, the profile shows a sharp, short ascent marking the start of the Muro di Cadel Poggio, peaking at 242 meters, 49.4 kilometers into the stage, which is a Cat 4, and the riders will also have tackled an intermediate sprint before this. Once the riders have crested the Cat 4 climb, which does have ramps up to 12%, the terrain remains undulating for a second distance, gradually rising towards the main event. The profile shows a series of smaller inclines, even up to the Fossano intermediate sprint, before the riders drop down. Following the climb, the terrain remains undulating for a significant distance, gradually rising towards the main event. The profile shows a series of smaller climbs and descents as the race heads towards the foot of the Monte Grappa, passing through towns like Cornigliano and Possagno, the latter being the birthplace of the renowned sculptor Antonio Canova. Next for the riders, it will be the imposing Monte Grappa, peaking at 1,611 meters, which dominates the central portion of the stage. The profile confirms its staggering length of 25.3 kilometers and an average gradient of 5.8%, with sections clearly exceeding this, reaching the stated 11%. The ascent is visibly represented as a long, sustained climb with varying degrees of steepness, promising a relentless test of climbing prowess. The summit, marked near the Rifugio Bassano, arrives with a significant 90 kilometers still to race, marking the subsequent descent and final crucial climbs. We should add in here as well, last year at the Giro d'Italia we did see the Monte Grappa twice, and in fact I was there in person with Visma Lisa bike, so if you want to check that video out, why not click here. Once the riders descend off the Monte Grappa, which is indeed lengthy as indicated by the gradual drop in elevation for nearly 40 kilometers, leading down towards the valley around Romano de Cellino and Campo Salagna, this technical descent will require skill and courage from the peloton and a potential breakaway, but will potentially also garner some advantage to either of those groups. The profile then shows a flatter section of approximately 20 kilometers through the valley, offering a brief respite before the next challenge. The climb to Dori, peaking at 1,100 meters, begins after this flatter section. The profile illustrates a length of 16.4 kilometers, averaging 5.4%, but going up to 9% in sections. This is another substantial climb that will punish tired legs in the final third of the stage. The ascent is shown as a more gradual and sustained effort compared to the steeper ramps of the Monte Grappa. There will also be the Red Bull kilometer sprint partly up the climb as well, and the riders after that, 6 kilometers further up, will have the top of this category 2 climb. The final 18.5 kilometers to the finishing line begin with a short descent, followed by the sharp 1.5 kilometer climb averaging 8.3%. The profile clearly shows this later punchy ascent. The remaining terrain to the finish in Asiago is then rolling as indicated by the undulating elevation line, offering limited opportunities for significant time gains but requiring constant effort. Asiago is a plateau known for its stunning alpine scenery, and its history as a battleground in World War I in 2025 will provide a dramatic backdrop for the stage finish, echoing the intense finale witnessed in 2017. Stage 15 with the monumental Monte Grappa and the challenging final sequence is undoubtedly a key stage for the GC contenders in the Giro for 2025 and marks the end of week 2. But now we come for the interesting part, and that is, of course, the predictions. Obviously, we've seen Isaac Del Toro and UAE team members being very strong, and the plucky Mexican could definitely be looking to gain more time, or this could be his biggest test yet, as there's plenty of mountains and more fatigue, and he's never been this deep into a Grand Tour. But obviously, other riders such as Primoz Roglic or Antonio Tiberi will look to make a charge up the GC standings. Fano Yuzo, will he be doing anything to try and backstab his teammate? Or Ineos Grenadiers, with their very strong leaders, that includes Egan Bernal, could also look to try and gather something after he crashed in the time trial. But the breakaway certainly does look like this is going to be one for them. We've seen Lorenzo Fortunato in that blue jersey being very aggressive, and I think potentially the Italian could be eyeing up to do something here again. Equally, we have riders such as Nairo Quintana looking very good, who might want to try and get up there and get more mountains points. But the GC riders are probably where we're going to see the victory. And let's not forget about Richard Carapaz, who's already taken a very interesting stage win, and EF Education Easy Post are very buoyed by the incredible run of form that we've seen by him. So who knows what's going to happen, but there's certainly a lot of names, and we haven't even mentioned Simon Yates and Adam Yates, who could maybe also do something here. Simon Yates desperately wants to get another podium position here in the Giro d'Italia. Anyways, with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know down below who you think is going to win this stage. And make sure to check out the Visma Lisa bike video as well if you haven't already. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you around.